Imagine the people around you right now, your family, your friends, your neighbors, deciding tonight that you no longer exist to them. No fight, no trial, just silence. For 99% of human history, that silence was a death sentence. But for most of human history, there was a punishment far worse than prison. Worse in most cases than death itself. It was banishment, being cast out, sent away from the fire, the group, the only source of protection you had ever known. And for the first humans who experienced it, banishment wasn't a metaphor. It wasn't losing touch with people. It was a death sentence with a delay button. So what actually happened to the first person ever kicked out of the tribe? To answer that, we're going to look at three men, thousands of years apart, who all... Let's start with why banishment existed in the first place. For most of human history, there were no police, no courts, no jails. So how did early human groups deal with someone who broke the rules? Someone who stole food, turned violent, or tried to dominate everyone else? First came teasing. If that didn't work, ridicule. If the behavior continued, the group moved to shunning, then open threats of banishment. Only in the rarest, most extreme cases did the group resort to execution. Banishment sat right before death on that list. Not because it was gentler. A human being alone in the wild loses the extra eyes watching for predators while they sleep. They lose the people who share food when a hunt fails. They lose access to knowledge that never lived in books. It lived in other people's heads. The strongest man in the country. As a teenager, he killed a man in a dispute over a food bag and was sentenced to 3 years of exile. He survived it. He came home a legend, famous for wrestling ghosts and slaying a bear that had been terrorizing a farm. Then his luck ran out for good. After a house fire killed several men, the Althing, Iceland's assembly, declared him a full outlaw. Not for 3 years this time. Nothing haunting happened to him during those years. The strongest man in Iceland developed a crippling fear of the dark. He couldn't be alone at night without his mind unraveling. Historians still argue about why, but the psychological read is hard to miss. Even a man built like a giant could not survive total isolation without it breaking something in him. Start with the most basic thing your body needs to keep going: food. Inside the tribe, feeding yourself was never a one-person job. Someone tracked animals. Someone else knew which roots were safe to eat and which ones would poison you slowly over 3 days. That knowledge lived in the group, shared and passed around like a toolkit nobody had to build from scratch. One missed hunt inside the tribe just meant a hungry night, because someone else's catch would cover you. Alone, that same missed hunt starts a countdown, someone to keep watch while you sleep, someone to notice the danger you missed, someone to carry the load when you can't. Pull the group away, and you're not just isolated. You're running at half capacity, trying to use a body designed for teamwork to survive a world that punishes the smallest hesitation. Strength was never the plan humans were built around. Numbers were. And without them, every task got heavier. Inside the tribe, a twisted ankle meant a few slow days while everyone else quietly covered your share. Someone brought you water. Someone kept the wound clean. Someone made sure infection didn't get the chance to set in while your body did the actual work of healing. For a reason, someone never made it to the next season. And injuries weren't rare, because the food that mattered most came from animals that could kill you back. So maybe you'd think the answer was simple. Find other people. Any people. Surely a stranger was better than nothing. It wasn't that easy, and it usually wasn't that safe. A stranger with no shared history had no real reason to trust you, and every reason to see you as competition instead. Without a tribe standing behind you, you had no leverage, no protection. A freezing night that a group survives together, sharing warmth and taking turns on watch, becomes something else entirely when you're facing it alone. A predator that hesitates around 10 people won't hesitate around one exhausted traveler with nowhere to run. A storm that a tribe shelters through together, using a cave they already knew about, could catch a lone person completely exposed, with nothing built and nowhere to go. That's the world waiting on the other side of the tree line. Not one danger, but all of them, arriving together the moment the group stops standing between you and everything they used to absorb for you without you even noticing. Hunger with no safety net. A body built for partnership, now working alone. Injuries with no one to treat them.